Hey guys, welcome to Two Sisters Unscripted. My name's Caitlin,
And I'm Megan.
and welcome back for another episode. Super happy to have you guys here along for this fantastic ride. And this week, I think, what are we in? Week 9?
Eight.
Episode 9? 8? Ooh, math wasn't mathing. Um, so we've talked about like our lives and kind of just people in our lives. Obviously like our dad, Megan's kids, her husband, my friends. Um, and today we're just gonna kind of it's a little more lighthearted today. We're just gonna go into more of like an inside scoop of what makes us us, I guess, and like how we were kind of, for lack of better terms, I think like framed into the like people we are, shaped rather, that's better, shaped into like the people we are now, and not so much on the serious side of things, but more on like a lighthearted, like kind of like joking storytelling side of things of our
Yeah.
like childhood and even like recent events, and just how you can start like how we acted as kids, or like things that happened to us as kids, like how it, like, oh, that makes sense of why Caitlin is this or Megan's that way. So
We
we
hope.
figured we just kind of give a little bit more into our lives a little bit, and maybe our storytelling can kind of resonate with you guys, and maybe even get you guys starting to think about like your stories growing up, and just whether they actually like really had a defining moment for you, or it was just something that was just funny to happen in the moment and really a great memory to just, fall back on and to think about.
We hope that the dots will connect and we'll have some kind of insight to how our stories shaped us. But it might just be story time. We might just ramble about our childhood, and that might be the episode. So we're going to see where this takes us.
Hey, honestly, I don't think that would be a bad episode either. I think a lot of people will resonate, whether it's them similar in age to us, or even if you're listening to this as maybe you might be a little bit older than us, or maybe like our parents' age or anything like that. And you could be like, oh, wait, this sounds really similar to like what my kids did growing up, or anything like that. That would be really cool too. So, yeah, we're just here to kind of ramble and have a good time.
Um, Sorry, the dogs were barking.
Did you pause this?
No.
Oh,
No, I was trying to stop the dog from barking. Because Dad's dogs are barking next door, and Claudia's ears went up. So, sorry
um,
guys. Welcome to our
that
life.
is so funny. I wish you guys could see just like what I'm seeing, because it was a look of concern.
It was me trying to shush the dog without actually saying shush, and instead I just messed up our episode, but we're just gonna roll with it.
We'll just roll with it. So Megan and I, we are 90s babies.
Yes.
Whoop whoop. I am 95.
93.
Yeah, so we're 90s babies. I think 95 really can still kind of claim. Just kidding. I guess you can claim all the way to 99. But I don't know. I think there's like after 95 though, I just feel like there's like a separation there. Like something changes in between 95 and 96. Is something's just different. But we are 90s babies, so we grew up in that like era of, like, obviously technology was really starting to become a thing, like TV. Obviously TV was beforehand, we know this, but I think,
Do you remember how excited we were when we got the TV for our room that had the VHS and the DVD player in it?
yeah, that was iconic. Yeah, because before that I think we had a little pink TV.
Yep.
um it was like, ow,
I don't even
was
remember
it
if
like a
that thing actually worked.
Powerpuff Girl TV?
I don't know.
I don't know. Dad would definitely know. But we had this like pink TV, and then we upgraded to, yes, having a um yeah, the VHS and then DVD set in it. And now they do things and they ask kids like, "Do you know what this is?" It's like a VHS. And they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, and the Rugrats tape, the Rugrats VHS was the orange. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had all the Rugrats movies, but no, we grew up in the '90s, and so we were I mean, Megan just mentioned a few things, like, I mentioned the Powerpuff Girls, she just mentioned Rugrats, we
Hey
definitely
Arnold.
watched
That was
what
another.
was that?
Hey Arnold.
Oh, yeah, Hey Arnold, um, my show growing up was Little Bear, um, and I always had these, like, nostalgic moments where it's like I remember and I, like, can still smell the smells of it, so not of Little Bear,
Little
but
Bear.
those yeah, I loved it that much, I could smell the smells of Little
Nice
Bear.
segue.
Yes, and the forest. No, not he,
The
no, it
smells.
was, like, the morning like, it would always be on at, like, 5:30 or 6 a.m., like, it was an early morning show or 6:30, and, especially the mornings like really would be like the snow mornings, right? Where dad obviously still had to go to work, but like we had a snow day or something like that. And like grandma would come down and grandma liked to drink coffee. So she would have the pot on. And we weren't in a house that like none of our parents, neither of our parents drank coffee. So like
No.
we weren't exposed to that. But
Well, and
I
then
love
it got to the point when we redid the kitchen. Mom and dad got rid of the coffee pot, and grandma had to stop at Stewart's to get her own coffee.
selfish, bro. How could they do this to grandma? Um Both, like, both grandmothers drank
Mm-hmm.
coffee, but anyways, so she would come down and she would make, like, the pot, and I would then eat Quaker, the maple brown sugar oatmeal,
Oatmeal.
and
Yep.
I would sit in front of the TV and watch Little Bear as she's making you would always still be in bed.
Well,
Like, I was
the snow days, grandma would spend the night before when she knew we were going to get a lot of snow.
Yeah, that's
And she
true.
was always up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, which is funny because I still can wake up early, obviously, but now that you have kids, you're getting up earlier. But, like, I was always awake and you would still be in bed, and so, like, you wouldn't get out of bed till,
And
like,
then a few
maybe 8
years
or
went by,
9.
and then Caitlin could sleep till 2.
Yeah. I slept through
Everything.
earthquakes.
You could
I swear
sleep.
I slept through earthquakes. Now I can't sleep to save my life. Um, yeah, I slept through earthquakes, and it was, like, a running joke that I could sleep through anything, and now I'm, like, deeply saddened that that can't be the, accurate statement anymore. I like a drop of a pin, I'm like waking up. But meanwhile, guys, not to get sad here, but the night our mom died, they called me so many times and I never woke up. It's like not funny, but I was just sitting here and I was waking up to everything, every call, every text, I was waking up. And of course, like when it's like game time, like lack of a better term, but like it's go time, like she is gone. I like was like, it's time to sleep. like
Well, you set your phone for do not disturb for everyone except dad and I on the
yeah.
second ring. Like if we called you twice within a certain amount of time, we could get through. I called you like
No,
16 times.
it's always getting through no matter if first or second.
Oh, okay. So
But either way,
I called
yeah.
you and called you and called you, and I was like, Dad, she's not waking up.
She's gone too.
No, dear God. Like it went from you would send me a text in the middle of the night for weeks while mom was in hospice to just you be like, I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, and tonight's the night I get thorough rest. Yeah, it's so I mean, and then, you guys were both like, "Mom was just like, let you sleep, girl." Like, but that was just so funny. So yeah, it went that was like very rare moments that I don't wake up and other than that, I really can wake up like to anything now. So it's kind of like a good, bad situation. But yeah, so those mornings I would always get up. I would watch Little Bear and then Franklin would
Mm-hmm.
come on and I enjoyed Franklin as well. But Little Bear was definitely like my Little Bear was my show. Like that was my show. And
That was
um
Barney for me,
that's
like when I
crazy.
was younger.
That's crazy. I say that's crazy. I guess Barney is okay. But Barney like creeped me out when I was a kid. And then didn't we go to that show?
Yes, Barney
Like the
Live.
live action show? It just creeped me out, dude. I don't know why, it just did, but not as much as Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
Yo Gabba Gabba, so I have okay, I'm not a theorist, conspiracy theorist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there are like two things that I won't share the other one, but there's this one thing. It's crazy. Like the you guys are gonna read like, yo, that's like the craziest thing I've ever heard. But that's why it's a conspiracy theorist, right? Like I like conspiracy theory. So I feel like Yo Gabba Gabba. So Yo Gabba Gabba was I was in high school when it came on, and I would always be at my friend's house whose niece was there, so she would be watching it. She was younger. Creepy. I do not like Yo Gabba Gabba. Now, Yo Gabba Gabba, I now think Yo Gabba Gabba kids and Coco Melon kids. I am telling you, when it happens, be like, yo, Caitlin warned us. I really feel like these are shows that just watching it, it's like they like implanted something in their head. This sounds crazy, but this is why it's a conspiracy theory. Like at some point in time in the future, they're gonna be like, "Yo, Gabba Gabba, rise up!" Right? And it's gonna be like, "Coco Melon, rise up!" And it's gonna be like, "Yo, Gabba Gabba kids," like versus Coco Melon kids trying to like take over the like world. So it's just like there's just something so off about those shows to me. Like it's like real creepy shows. So I don't know. But Barney, like at least Barney to me growing up, that's kind of like the vibe it gave with like creepiness. But now looking back, it's like nothing in comparison to Yo Gabba Gabba and Cocomelon.
Barney gave me my imaginary friend. Her name was Kathy.
With them
Kathy
shoes.
Kathy was a cast member on Barney, and she was my best friend, and she came alive in my mind. And Kathy wore saddle shoes, and Kathy used to get me in a lot of trouble. And everything I did, I blamed on Kathy. Well, our dad took Kathy one day and threw her out our front door.
Okay, but why?
I don't remember why. I did
Oh,
something and I blamed it on Kathy. And
we need
dad's
to
like,
have
I'm done with Kathy. And he took Kathy and he threw my friend out the door. And I was just so upset because she didn't take her shoes with her.
yeah.
And the neighbor was watching and asked dad if he was okay.
Well, no, you forgot a huge part of that story.
What?
So, no, because I don't remember how it happened, but dad, I was like, I must have been a toddler.
No, because
So
I was like 4.
I was
I
a
was like 4.
toddler.
Oh yeah. So you would have been, yeah, 1.
No, we're emerging,
Yeah.
to toddler years, but no. I don't remember what was going on, but dad does. But I do remember the part of the story because you said she doesn't have her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And the part where the neighbor was like, "Yo, are you good?" Because he took the
Oh
shoes
yeah.
and he's like, "Here's your shoes. You stay out." And the neighbor was like seeing our dad like lose his cool, like nothing's there, like um, but you know what? I guess that did his job though, because like
She
Kathy was
never
not
came back.
right. Kathy was not an issue anymore. And on top of that, you didn't become like a murderer. So there's like perks to it, right? You didn't become one of those like sinister movies of like like it starts as an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, Megan and Kathy are on a killing spree.
Just poor
But
Kathy. Like he didn't even make sure that she had her shoes on before he tossed her out our front door.
yeah, damn, dad was not considerate. Um Man, that house though, that definitely I think that house really was the house that like kind of geared started to obviously truly
I mean,
form like
it
our
was our first home.
yeah, and really started to form our personalities. Like I remember so I I think if they were to look at us, they would probably say the more outgoing person is me.
Yeah. Oh,
um,
100%.
and more like open to take risks is me. But I think as with age, I that's less likely. I'm really I calculate a lot, and I'm like, well, pros cons. But I will tell you the the thought process of having a sibling is very not the thought like the thought like of single people of uh what was you like a lone child like of one child like that's
Single
what they're called
child
single
household.
child
Like, I don't
how
know.
yeah like a siblingless child
An only
um
child.
only child thank you I'm like what am I trying to say only child like this really will if you're an only child listening to this is kind of somewhat of dynamic of like sibling. And it's so funny because you have these like you kind of have like a super outgoing one maybe, then not so much, but then it's like when they're together, it's crazy. Like being on Legal was crazy. Like I don't even I remember getting stitches in my chin, which was my sister's fault.
Oh,
Let me
this is
break
this.
this
No, this is
let
where
me
the debate is
no,
going to
let
start.
me break this all down for y'all. Everything that had happened to me that was negative, I swear to you, I think my sister and you know what? If you don't want to admit it right now because like you don't want to seem that way, that's okay. I think my sister, she initially wanted a sibling and then she got one and she was like, this is not what it's cracked up to be. And I think she tried to eliminate me for a couple years until she realized I can't, right?
Okay. So the bike is my fault.
Okay, so let's go through the bike story. We lived on a street that was a massive hill, right? And at the bottom of the hill, it's a blind spot for cars. So our parents would always say, "Do not go to the bottom of the hill. Like don't even like leave past this house really." So I'm on a bike. I'm telling my sister,
Do you remember the garage that was right at the end? Like, if you made it through
"Yes,
the intersection, you were gonna hit a garage.
exactly. All bad options. Like you get hit by a car, you get hit by a garage." Um
More like
and
you hit the garage, and the garage isn't gonna come out and hit you. But
the garage will hit me. Um So I'm pedaling and I'm like, "You don't let go, don't let go. You're not gonna let go, right?" She goes, "No, no, I got you." Next thing you know, my ass is flying down this hill, bro. Flying. And all I'm thinking is, oh my God, they said don't go to the bottom. Don't go to the bottom. Don't go there. So I was probably already out of control anyways. Like my bike was probably wobbling as it would because I was nervous and learning. And
yeah, you
next
would
thing
have
you
had.
know,
You were like 5 or 6
yeah,
because we
next
moved when you
I
were
was 6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, so next thing you know, I was like, "Well, only one way out of this." So I, like, tipped over, and I really, I scraped, like, my knee up, and all I picture now is, like, the Family Guy where, like, Peter, like, anytime he's, like, on the floor, he goes, like, that's all I think about with that specific event. So, yeah, she tried to eliminate me that way, and then I do not remember this story, but my dad has told us, like, so many times that, at the same house, we had, uh we had the kid houses, like, the kid playhouse. That was
That
a
wasn't
Mountain Street?
legal. Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
well
yeah, because I remember dad pulling in the driveway, and I was like, "Oh, crap."
okay, I thought that was illegal, but either
Mm.
way, so good thing we don't live there anymore, I'm just saying the names. Um, so well, I guess I was at the other house, but we had the playhouse, and the playhouse, like, when you're a kid, it's a big house.
Yeah, it was
It's
like
like
a Fisher
6
Price.
feet yeah, it's like
It
6
went in
or
the
7
backyard.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
6, maybe 5, 6 feet tall, maybe?
No.
S
It's like
5
4.5.
really?
Yeah.
4.5, whatever. Anyways,
Well,
it's
because
a
now that I'm 5 foot, I'm taller than them.
no. Are
Mhm.
you sure?
Mhm.
Okay, well, either way. Um, so my dad's pulling in from work, all he sees as he's pulling all he sees is me leaping off the roof of the house.
Well,
And he's like, mortified because he's thinking, "Oh my god, like, she probably got hurt, like, taking this plunge." Because I was very short. I was a very short kid, and then I grew in, like, high school, but I was always a very short kid. So I'm, like, short kid on top of this house, like, making this lunge, and, as he comes into the backyard, I'm just running around like a crazy person, right? I stuck the landing, I killed it. I'm like, "Yeah, baby." Running. And he runs up to Megan and he goes, "What's going on? Why'd she just jump off the roof?" And what did you say?
Because I told her that if she did it and didn't get hurt, I'd give it a shot.
That's wild work. So
You
the
also
last
didn't follow instructions because there was like, okay, do you remember what the house looked like?
yeah, there's like little window ledges.
So there was this rounded top over the roof, and it had like this decline, and you were supposed to slide down it, not jump like a
Listen,
gymnast.
listen. This is now the second time where your instructions are different after the fact. Let's take it back to my chin.
Oh, no, no. So we had this couch that pulled out.
It was white.
It was white with blue stripes,
Mhm.
and it pulled out. Um, not it wasn't even like a fold away bed. It pulled out to like a flat, almost like a gymnastic mat. Um, so we would tumble on it because we were both in gymnastics. We would tumble on it. Well, this is where the story goes wrong because I didn't tell you to do it. We
Yes, you
were
did.
If I told you at the beginning, I told you at the beginning, but we had been walking across the back. It wasn't your first time. We had been walking back and forth, and one of the times Caitlin didn't make it all the way across, and she fell and cut her chin on the radiator behind the couch, and she was stuck behind the couch.
And and we
And
had
I went running to the other side of the basement holding my butt because I thought I was getting a swat for
you ran up the stairs past dad.
no, I didn't. I ran to the other side of the basement.
Oh
He
my
came
god.
downstairs because he heard you
I
screaming.
That's crazy. I wouldn't have known that actually because I was behind a couch. So I was stuck in behind the couch.
You were
So
like
it
Aaron's age. You were 4.
yeah, and it's central, like we had central heated and air. So as I my chin hit the corner of the radiator, it like like throughout the like you heard it. So my parents heard it upstairs. Um
They heard,
and
well,
my
Dad heard
dad
the
comes running
scream
down.
and he came running downstairs.
Yeah, that too. And my dad came downstairs and y'all the couch was not white. After that, so they had to put it on the street to get picked up, and I can only imagine what was going through the heads of those garbage guys, like, picking up like, the garbage men picking up, like, this bloodied couch. Not a great look. I that was actually a very, like, traumatizing not even a part of the fall, like, any of that. What was traumatizing about it was actually the hospital.
Oh, where they put you in a cocoon.
They cocooned my ass, bro. I'm not even kidding you. They wrapped me up in, like, a fucking mat and, like, tied it because I was, like, squirming so much, and I'm like, "Of course I'm squirming," because, like, 1, I can't look at, like, what you're doing because it's my chin, so I can't see what you're doing, but also all I see is you coming at me, like, my face,
With a
and
sewing kit.
Right. And what's crazy is I didn't even know what my chin looked like. Like I didn't I till this day I don't know what it looked like. I still have a scar though. But it heals great because you really unless I point the scar out, you can't see it. But that it was funny. I do remember this though, and I know dad's told me this, but I do remember because the guy was like, you told my dad to step out, and he goes, "The hell I will." He's like, "I'm gonna stay here with my baby. Like I ain't stepping out." But yeah, so I just want everyone to know that up until 6, apparently, because I jumped off the roof at 6, my sister was actively trying to eliminate me. And I was just going with it, you know? I was like, "Sure, why not? Let's try. Let's see
Just
what can
think,
happen."
you're strong and independent because of me.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Um,
I
Like,
remember the first lie that you told to get me in trouble.
don't talk about the gum.
The gum. Oh,
Okay.
when you stole the gum?
'Cause you told me
No,
I'm about to get hot in here.
I tried to get dad to buy it for me, and then you had it in the car.
No, you told me to take it.
Do you
Bro,
remember where that was?
yes, I do. Ace Hardware Store.
Mhm.
That's right.
Anyway,
I
the first lie that you told to get me in trouble, we had just moved into the new house. And remember, we weren't supposed to have toys in the bedroom because we had the
no.
playroom. We had the playroom downstairs. I was talking to dad about this the other day. And
Of course, she's always talking like that, trying to put a bad word in for me when I can't defend myself.
I don't even remember how it came up, but the we won something from a school fundraiser as per usual, top sellers, and it was a red yo-yo that lit up when you used it. And you had brought it upstairs and mom said, "Why is this toy up here?" And it was right in the middle of our doorway. And mom said, "Why is this toy up there?" And without hesitation, you were like, "Megan did it."
All those times you were trying to kill me. I had to get back. What a weird place to put the yo-yo.
I don't know if you were playing with it and dropped it there, but I was like, I didn't even know what to say because I was like, this jerk tried to throw me under the bus for something I didn't even do.
I just felt like after all the years of fighting for my life, you
Oh,
could at least
whatever.
take that hit from me.
No.
Who she believe?
Uh, and like,
Who does she believe?
I-
You're the-
you, I got in trouble for that.
Dang, you did good work back then, Caitlin.
Mm.
Good job. Um, that's so funny. Actually, speaking of room, so um,
I loved our room. I mean,
yeah,
even
we
though we
shared
shared it and it got annoying as we got older, but
we
I
we
loved it.
shared rooms. Yeah, it was definitely it was interesting because I was like outgoing where to the point where literally our dad's dropping us off to school and I'm like opening we had a van, so I'm opening the van door before he even came to like complete stop. And I'm like sprinting, like if he wanted to say goodbye to me, good luck, because I'm like sprinting to the door
And
ready
here I
to
was, him having to drag me into school every day because
I was like school. Now I'm like, dang, why? But no, school's fun. But it's so funny because I would be like this like outgoing. I don't know, like I was still shy. It was weird. I had a balance. Like I was still shy, and then I would be like moments of outgoing, and then I'm like such a big scaredy cat though. So like in Mountain Street, I definitely remember it was really obviously sharing rooms. Yeah, it was like a little annoying, but at the same time, it wasn't because like there were definitely sometimes I would wake you up. I would walk over to your side of the room, wake you up, and just get in your bed. Like,
well,
and
let's
what?
talk about Christmas for I don't know how many years. Megan, can you go make sure Santa's not out there?
Right, Santa could have snatched me up, bro. Like we don't trust Santa. Santa could have got your girl. But I think the room setup is like what threw me off too because so how our room was when we set it up,
When we
obviously
first
we
moved
had like
in, because we changed it, remember?
I'm thinking of the ones where our beds were one was against the window, one was against the wall in front of the door. And that was
Yes.
mine.
So then
Yeah.
the dresser was against the back wall, and there was that space in the middle where dad
Yes.
told us that they had to put the beds like that because the man died there.
He is ruthless to us, bro. Yes. Yeah, he did say
We were
that.
6 and 9, and he's like, we had to put the beds this way because we didn't want to put the beds over where the man died.
Yeah, he was ruthless. But so being there, I think we ended up changing it though, and it ended up becoming an L.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
your feet were by my face.
But what also like got me creeped out at night is because like our door was open and we had a hallway, and then like
The
at
basement
the end
door,
of
you
the
could see right down the base.
yes, at the
Yeah.
end of the hallway we had our basement door. And my dad would usually just leave the basement, like the basement light was just like always on, like the light on the stairs was just always on. And at the bottom of the stairs, our dad had this like beer lady,
The
and
Killian's,
like
his Killian's red
yeah,
6 foot
well,
cutout.
yes, it's Killian's red 6 foot, and I could see her looking at me
Hmm.
underneath the door. So I'm like, I couldn't sleep because this red-headed Killian's lady was staring at me. It didn't matter what. And I'm like, why am I the one in front of this door? Also, why am I the one in front of this door? I am the youngest person in this household. I have lived the lowest amount of years. And if someone was to break in this house, I'm going to be the first victim because I'm going to be the first one they see.
You were ready. You were waiting for them with the Guitar Hero guitar that you kept by the bed just in
We
case.
didn't have it at that point. We got the Guitar Hero after Killian's had left, I think. I don't know actually. But yeah, yeah. So I'm a little like paranoid person, and I'm pretty sure it started with Killian's. 100%. That is where my paranoia started. And also, yeah, our dad telling us that someone died in the middle of the room, and our dad going onto the deck and scratching out our window.
Oh, the first night he let us stay home alone. Him and mom came home. He scratched at the window. Then he came through the window
Yeah, our
and walked
dad.
down the hallway.
Bro, yes, and we were in the living room and we
Yep.
started screaming.
Yep.
Our dad has traumatized us for no reason. Like it's like he was trying to make a point. Stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But like, why are you doing this? So, oh my goodness. Yeah. So my dad has made me a little bit of a scaredy cat. But
Mom and dad did not leave us alone like often, but I remember one of the times that they left us. Do you remember them going out? One of dad's friends was playing in a band and they walked home because they were drinking. Do you remember this?
yes, and we could hear them.
We're like, what is that? It is like midnight. We probably shouldn't have been awake still, but we were.
I was woken up.
But we were in the living room. We're like, what is that? And we look outside and it's mom and dad. Dad is pushing mom in the wheelchair up the middle of the road and they are singing at the top of their lungs. Like at the time, it was embarrassing slash hysterical. But like I'd give anything to see that again.
Yeah.
I wish we had the phones where we could have recorded it.
Oh, everyone would have been recording that.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I'm pissed. These people are waking me up at 1 a.m.
Mom and dad
And
would have been viral on TikTok 100%.
100%. 100%. Um, yeah.
I'm sure dad even remembers what song it was too.
I can't remember. I said that in the eulogy though, about them walking up singing at like 1 a.m. down the street. Um,
Sorry, Kate
sorry.
yawning.
I'm always doing it. Yeah, we said that last time. But yeah, our childhood per I feel like anyone listening to this, they probably can say the same thing. Like, my childhood was crazy. It's crazy. I don't think our childhood was really crazy. I think it was unique. We had a unique situation.
We did.
But it was also like fun. I don't know, like, yeah, having so our mom, was unable to work, so she was home all the time, and like Megan mentioned, like there was very seldom times when like we were home alone. Um,
Do you
but
remember our go-to when mom was mad, where both of us would go? No,
no,
because we were evil. And like thinking back on it, like we were shitty for doing this. But when we would make mom mad, we would go into our room because when the beds were parallel, her wheelchair
she
couldn't
couldn't.
get in.
Yeah, she couldn't get it.
Like
Catch us if you can, mom. Oh
being a
my
mom now, like
god.
I'd be fuming. But when we were kids,
Yeah.
we're like, I remember when she used to call Uncle Pat when I got in trouble and she couldn't get to me. I'd hide in my closet because I knew she couldn't get the wheelchair in there. And then all of a sudden I hear him come through the door when dad was at work and I was like, oh no.
I remember though, like getting up for school. So, like I said, 90s babies. So we were obviously like 10, 8, and stuff when like movies like Madagascar and like yeah, I can't even think of why can't I even think of like any well, of course all the Disney movies. But like the DreamWorks movies. But anyways, so we as a family collectively really liked Madagascar. Like we
Mom
went to the
loved it.
movie. Yeah, we went into the move-ins, the drive-ins, and we watched Madagascar. And before we even went to the movies, we would always say like sugar honey iced tea.
Hmm.
And clearly that has slipped my brain, right? I just say the full thing no, but
It's quicker just to say it.
but when we were at the drive-in, the Chris Rock's character, who was the zebra,
I
Marty.
can't. Yup.
Marty, he was like all in slow motion, like sugar honey iced tea. And we
We
started
lost it.
dying. And there's so many like families around us that
Looking
were
at
looking,
us.
yeah, like what's wrong with these weirdos, right? We were dying
We were laughing.
hysterically
Do you
because
remember because of that movie, Mom waking us up multiple
yes,
times to the song, I like to move it, move it?
yes, she would wake up, but this time she could actually get into our bedroom,
Yeah.
and she would get into our bed, like, she would roll into our bedroom, start playing that song, and, like,
Hmm.
start, like, tapping us and, like, trying to rip our blankets off. I'm
Yup.
like, "This is not
This is not
r"
okay. This is torture.
right. I'm like, "What are you doing?" But, yeah, I play that. I play a more, it's, like, more geared towards fitness, but I like to move it in my songs before. You know what song I played in one of my songs? It's like, it's from Madagascar. It's like, "I like 'em big,
Yep.
I like 'em plumpy." I'm like, "Alright, this song was for me, okay, come on now." Um,
I play I like to move it for the kids, and Aaron loves
I
it.
love it. Yeah, it's just a good energy show, song. Um,
Do you
but
remember, like, one of my favorite memories was just any movie night or when Mom recorded any of the shows we watched, and we'd all sit as a family in the living room and catch up on all of them.
I mean, it was good because we didn't have to watch the commercials either.
I know.
She did
Yeah,
just
but then
solid.
watching anything with Dad, if he can pause it,
My god. You know, a show, it could literally be a 30-minute show, and it will take an hour and 20 minutes to get through. Cause he was
psych,
like, "Did you see that?"
psych, looking for the pineapple. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Oh,
Is that it?
yeah. Psych,
And
yeah.
then Blue Bloods, he always had to pause it on Aaron Reagan. Oh, that's my girlfriend. That's what he would
Yeah,
say. He
yeah.
still says it.
I think though, you know, another reason why I'm so paranoid is because we would watch Criminal Minds together
Mhm.
with mom, and I'm like, "Yo, look at all the ways people are just crazy and will kill you." I'm like, "I don't know, the world's tough out here," but that's where my love for Shamar Moore came. I love that man, and
That's why I like SWAT now. Because
yeah,
it reminds me of every time I see him, it reminds me of Mom for
yeah,
multiple
same,
reasons.
exactly. I'm like, I love this man, I love him. Um,
I was heartbroken. Like, I still continue to watch Blue Bloods, like, faithfully every week.
yeah,
I mean, now I just stream it. I don't have to record it, but every week I'd watch it. And Mom passed last January, and a couple months ago they had the last ever episode of Blue Bloods. And I pushed it off for weeks, and I told Sean, I'm like, I can't watch this. Like, I can't have it end. Like, this was such a it reminded me of sitting at home with Mom. I'm like, I
yeah,
can't have this end. And I watched it and I cried like a giant baby. But
yeah,
it's one of those things. I'm like, it's just one more thing that's gone.
yeah. Well,
I've already started rewatching it, but
or it's just one more thing that happened with her.
yeah.
Yeah. I, I, so yeah, we would watch Colonel Mines, but, you know, it's funny now that as I'm older, like, my mom she loved the show Friends.
Yeah.
She loved the show Friends,
Dad
and
still talks about how he'd like have a softball game and Mom's like, we have to get home for Friends. Like, we can't go meet like, and they would go home and they'd watch Friends together. So now when Friends is on, I sit with Dad and watch it.
yeah, I
And you
don't on
watch it every
TBS?
day.
I do watch it every day.
Me too. I love
I
it.
watch it every day.
The perfect, like, background show because you can just listen to it and picture everything that's going on. You know exactly
Right,
what's happening.
yeah, and, like, I'll sleep with my TV on sometimes and have, like, just friends go in, and
We talk
I,
about this, so do I.
but I it's just so funny because like, when, she was watching it younger when when I was younger, I don't know about you, but I was like, "Well,
If you were younger, chances are I was too.
oh my god, you don't say." No, I'm
You're like,
saying
"I don't know about you."
well, about how I'm feeling with this, like,
Okay.
I didn't watch Friends with her, like, I just didn't get into it because it was '94 is when it started, and it ended in 2004,
I
5.
watched it with her, but I wasn't old enough to really understand most of the stuff that was going on.
Right, so now it's a bit I shouldn't even say, like, nostalgic because I didn't watch it with her, but it's when I watched it fully, like, all of it, when I was like, "Oh my gosh." When I was like, "This is good. I like it." Um, but I don't know, it just resonates better, because you're older,
Well, you're almost
and
like, now I know my mom loved to watch it, and she'd watch it
yeah.
whenever it was on.
Yeah, so I get that, and it was always on, like, TBS, but I think it's also because it was always on, like, different times, but, like, for us, when we were going to, like, bed or anything like that, or even early in the morning, like, MTV, they would have, like, the Jamie Foxx show, or they would have the Wayans Brothers, or, like, stuff like that, so it like, shows like that, so that's also, like, we grew up watching that as well, but I think it's just because, like, the timing of it, whereas, like, when Friends was on, it was, like, 7 o'clock or something, like, we were, like, doing other stuff,
Do you
like
remember going to bed and dad staying up all night playing PlayStation?
yeah, you would hear, oh, my I keep wanting to say Call of Duty, it's not that, why can't I think? The
Grand
car
Theft.
one.
Grand Theft Auto?
Thank you. Grand Theft Auto. "Get out of the way, bitch." Like
Mom would tell him multiple times to turn it down.
yeah. It would yeah, so yeah. Oh my gosh,
The
and then
Simpsons. Remember the Simpsons game?
yeah, yes, I always wonder if they have that. We had the
No.
Simpsons games.
Sean and I talk about it all the time, and I look, they don't have it. Um, but we never played that game correctly.
No, we would just drive around and be like, "Time to go to the Quickie Mart." Like, we wouldn't do anything serious.
Oh, Lisa has to go to school.
Right, and I'm like, I think after a while, it's like, if you're not playing, like, it's like they, like, intentionally trying to send people to, like, I don't know, like, bump you or something, but, um, we grew up on the Nintendo 64, so, to get it working, you blow in the cartridge,
And in the
um,
machine.
and the machine,
Hit it a
yeah.
couple times.
You try to get that thing working. I really liked the bubble game. We would always play the
Yeah.
bubble game. Why can't I remember what the name of it was? But, like, you're in the bubble and you, like, pop out.
We have it on the Raspberry.
I know, and I'm like, that honestly would be a perfect gift for me, so just FYI, if he can get his friend to do it again, that's what I would like for birthday and Christmas.
Bubble Bobble.
Bubble Bobble, bro, I love that game.
That we would
Yeah.
play for hours.
Yes,
And
and
then we would pause it and not turn it off because we didn't want to have to re-blow in the cartridge.
yeah, we would, like, pause, go play with, like, Polly Pockets or Bratz,
Yeah.
come back and, like, "Well, time to get back to the gaming." Um, yeah, it's like I will say, though, too, I mentioned, like, my friend about, like, our imagination, and how I'm imagining, but, like, it also started because 'cause I'm really, like, obviously very grateful that, our parents did the best they could with, like, getting us toys um and they allowed us this space to kinda grow our imagination as well, like, you had a whole, imaginary friend, you had a whole Kathy,
Yeah, but then
but
dad threw her out the door. Never to
'cause
be seen again.
my Polly Pockets never told me to do crazy stuff.
No, you had a
I
sister for that.
exactly, see, wow, so really
Full
oh my
circle.
god, it's a full circle, wow. Yo, Megan might be Kathy. Just kidding. Um, but I mean, yeah, with the Polly Pockets, with the Bratz, with the Barbies, we would just like we would make these scenarios and obviously like like this imagination and or these imaginary like worlds and situations
I
and
made you play school all the time and you never got to be the teacher.
I know, and I'm like, why am I going to school and coming home and still being a student? Like, what is going on? And we were the Cheetah Girls.
Yup.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good stories.
We knew all the dances to that movie.
Yo, we might have to bust out a few moves for you guys on our Instagram. We might have
Oh,
to give you give you a show.
I,
What one was I? I don't even remember the names. I just like remember the colors.
Bubbles. Weren't you Bubbles?
That's the Powerpuff Girl.
No, wasn't her
And it
name?
was not Bubbles.
No, I'm
I was
talking.
Blossom. Megan was Bubbles, and our dad was Buttercup.
They had like nicknames, and the ones was Bubble, wasn't it? Bubbles.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, so one Halloween, our dad dressed up as Buttercup because there's only two of us for Powerpuff Girls, so he did it.
I can't find it.
And our dad's a menace, low key. So this woman, he didn't. We went trick or treating, and this woman didn't give him any candy, and he was like, hello, and she was like, "You're a grown man," and he was like, "I'm dressed up. It's Halloween," and she was like, "I'm not giving you any candy." Our father is a menace. He was like, "If you don't give me candy."
No, no, no. Nope. She said you're too old to be trick or treating. He said, "Am
Oh,
I
yes.
too old to come back and egg your house?"
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he a menace. And she gave him candy. My fault. I said it all wrong. I said it all wrong. Mayan got me. Um, and then we were M&Ms. Actually, I think those were my favorite costumes because the costume
Mine.
itself was just so soft. The
Yep.
M&M were so soft. So I was a blue one, Megan was a red one, and then our dad was the box. So I guess we remember the M&Ms as like bags, but M&Ms used to come in the boxes. So he was a box of M&Ms that like lit up.
Yeah, he put the lights in it. He wore
Yeah.
mom's bra to hold up the battery pack for the light.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
our
had
dad.
like dad was
Innovative.
not like I know everyone thinks or most people think like their dad's the best. Like our dad rocked like the Halloween costumes and then the fundraisers at school.
Our dad, like, you want to see where my competitive edge comes? It's our dad. Like, our dad was like, "You're winning everything,
I
bro."
got the picture of us with the 5 pound Hershey bar to prove it. Like, because we won
Yeah.
top sales for everything.
Yeah,
Girl Scout
the
cookies,
that Hershey
school
bar was like
fundraisers.
bigger than me. My sister's holding it and I'm just next to it, super excited.
Well, I can share that. I'll share that photo on our
I don't even think
Instagram.
we ate it though. Like I think it just ended up sitting there like as a prized possession. Like this 5 pound Hershey bar. Um
So Bubbles was Raven Simone.
oh, she was still looking that up, y'all. It took a while.
Chanel was one.
Any nicknames?
Chuchi was Chanel.
Okay.
Um,
I think
Aquanet,
I think I was purple.
Dorinda.
Maybe I was pink. I thought I was purple.
I don't know.
Either way, we were cheetah girls. But that's a very you guys just like listen to us for 49 minutes of literally just these crazy stories, but
And we
hopefully
came on here like, we'll do a quick 20-minute episode, give them a break from listening to us.
we
Just
can't.
kidding. No.
We can't. But I hope, maybe some of these stories were like, dang, like, oh my God, these video games, oh, Nintendo 64, oh my gosh, like, Friends or Wayne Brothers or Powerpuff Girls or like,
Barney, Little Bear.
oh my God, my mom couldn't get into our room either because of her wheelchair. You never know. Like,
If there's another listener out here that has happened to, like, please reach out to us.
for real. We'll share our inside stories about that. But yeah, so this is just like a little quick it was just a more like lighthearted podcast episode just so you can kind of get more into like our childhood growing up. Obviously, this is not all. We could literally talk for hours and hours and hours on end, as I'm sure most people could. But
But
um,
I have to edit this podcast so that it can be out in a couple hours because we're doing this the night before.
right. But either way, we're super grateful you guys are listening in, and hopefully you can kind of get a little bit more of like chaos and have it make a little bit more sense. How we are how we are, but I think a lot of people will just be able to like resonate. Again, whether you guys are our age, whether you're 90s babies, whether you're not,
Your
right? You're
parents of 90 babies.
right, parents of yeah, so
Or
either
just
way
need a good
we're
laugh.
yeah, with our crazy stories, but we hope that you enjoy this, and we hope that you guys have a great week ahead and do something that brings you joy. And maybe that might be kind of diving into something a little bit more nostalgic this week, pulling out that Nintendo 64. You have it? That would be impressive.
If I could find a VHS player.
Oh, yeah. Pop Madagascar and that.
Well, that's a DVD. It's come a long way. That was
Oh,
never a
okay.
VHS.
Pop.
See,
Rugrats and that.
I'm gonna make the kids watch Madagascar this week.
Okay. There you
Yeah,
go.
we're gonna do it.
I'm ready for the Lilo and Stitch live action.
Mm.
Yeah. That comes out 2026, I think. Or
All
is it
right,
this year?
guys. You don't have to listen to us babble
All
anymore.
right. All right, y'all. Have a great week ahead. Do something that brings you joy and maybe a little bit of nostalgia too. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.